Hey there, everybody. Let's talk Sega CD for a few minutes. I recently got one from my friend and family member Sam, who gave one to me 3 weeks ago. It was during the last video that I shot. Um, I talked a little bit about it in Sewer Shark and how it made me think of Half Bit over at Retrospective Perspective back then. Uh, I managed to secure a few more games for the platform today when I was out and about doing some game chasing. I picked up Ground Zero Texas, Tomcat Alley, and FIFA International Soccer for it. And those games combined with 99 Nights for the 360 and WCW Nitro for the PlayStation, which I really regret buying now, ran me $20 for the lot, so it was a pretty good deal. Um, I think the Sega CD kind of gets a bad rap in the video reviewing community these days. I know that James Rolfe, doing the angry video game nerd character, does poke a lot of fun at it. And I know it's easy to poke fun at it if you compare the technology with what we have now. Seeing the video compression, even running in real time on my GX TV now, does look pretty rough. And I can see why trying to not necessarily compare the technology, but play games using that technology now can be a difficult experience. But for me, when I look at the Sega CD, I think back to 1994 when I first got my unit. Uh, Back in 1994, CD-based video games for consoles were not a regular occurrence. As a matter of fact, they were relatively uncommon. Uh, there was the TurboGrafx CD or the Turbo Duo, which had CD technology, and a lot of those games used the extra storage space for voice acting and for Redbook audio. And if you played Last Alert for the TurboGrafx CD, you know that a lot of the voice acting for TurboGrafx CD games was just atrocious. As a matter of fact, it was so atrocious that it was laughably so. If you haven't heard some of the voice acting from Last Alert, I urge you to, as soon as this video is over, look up Last Alert voice acting in YouTube and watch some of those videos. You will not be disappointed. If you think Resident Evil is bad, mm-mm. um, check out Last Alert and you'll see what I'm talking about. But that's what CD technology was used for TurboGrafx CD games. Yes, there was some full motion video, but it really wasn't at the fore of what game development was for the platform at the time. Sega CD kind of changed that a little bit because full motion video was more prominent. Not only were we porting arcade full motion video games like Dragon's Lair, like Road Avenger, like Cobra Command to the platform, but we were also creating new full motion video games that were actually interactive movies. Games like Tomcat Alley, games like Ground Zero Texas, games like Prize Fighter, games like Corpse Killer, even though Half Bit kind of picks on Corpse Killer a little bit. It These games are movies that you can participate in and play. And back in 1994, there were no games like this on console, so it was completely new. Having the ability to watch a movie unfolding in front of your eyes was really only left to PC gamers at the time, and even then, the video quality was slowly improving, but still wasn't it wasn't what it is today, obviously. So if you compare the Sega CD with technology from today, obviously it looks very rough. And I can tell you when I popped in Tomcat Alley this afternoon and I played it and saw all the pixelization on the screen and saw how jittery the frame rate for the full motion video was, yeah, it was a little bit rough. It wasn't the same as it was when I just gaped in amazement 9 or 10 years ago. But at the same time, I think it's really important to remember what gaming was then versus what it is now. Back then, full motion video, Redbook audio, voice acting in video games, these things were not common. And so it was a lot, I don't necessarily want to say mind blowing, but it was something that definitely left an impression on you back then because it felt like it was a step forward. And obviously, it was a big step forward because just a year later, when we had the PlayStation and the Saturn, um, full motion video and digitized characters and Redbook audio became the standard. CD gaming became the standard, and it was only Nintendo that resisted that, and they only resisted it for they resisted it at their own peril, really, as they couldn't catch up to the PlayStation here in the U.S. So it was a step forward. Whether it was before its time or not can be argued. But I look back on the Sega CD platform, and I understand, at least in my perspective, um, the gateway that it was between the kind of video games we were playing then, back in '92 and '93, and the kind of video games that we would start to play in 1995 forward with the PlayStation and the Saturn, and of course on the way up today with the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 with DVD and Blu-ray technology. So that's my look at the Sega CD. It's not very in depth. This was my third take on this video, and I really didn't want to bore you guys to death. I'll try and do more of these as I can. I'm actually going to have a little bit more free time on my hands as I'm scaling back my hours at the bowling alley as I get ready to go back to school in the spring, which is very exciting. I'm looking forward to getting back to class and trying to keep that 4.0 GPA right where it is. So I'm going to have a little bit more extra time. I'm going to try to do some more writing, and I'm going to try and be more active again in social media. It's been a little bit. I have to admit, I've missed being active in the retro community on Twitter, Facebook, RetroWare TV, all those places. I've missed being active there because I've been so busy with my job at the bowling alley, but that is going to be changing, and I'm going to be spending a little bit more time online and a little bit more time doing some writing and hopefully some video shooting to keep up with you guys. So thanks very much for the support and for keeping in touch. Thanks very much. It means a lot to me for watching this video. And remember, give the SEGA CD a little bit of love. It's not as bad as some people may think. Talk to you guys soon.